whitetail explorer.
Don Barry Jr. is chasing giants in Iowa.
I'm talking about right there. As whitetail hunters, we're all explorers. We're always out there exploring for a better food source, bedding areas, looking for tree stand locations, exploring for rub lines, scrape lines. We're no different than the big mature whitetail bucks themselves. Whitetail Explorer, we're glad you joined us.
Whitetail Explorer is brought to you by Millennium Tree Stands, Hornady, Matthews Archery, Muzzy Broadheads, Nocturnal Lighted Knocks, Block Targets. Come along with Stan Potts and his team as they hunt big bucks on Whitetail Explorer.
Folks, welcome to this week's Whitetail Explorer. Have we got a great show for you. Don Barry Jr., Steve Snow in Iowa, and Don is chasing an absolute giant deer. You don't want to miss it, and Steve Snow's after a big old mature buck also. So let's head to Iowa with no further ado and pick up with Don Barry Jr.
Deer out there. It's a buck. It's Old Glory. It's Old Glory. Get ready. Don't be shooting there. Oh no, I missed him. It clipped that branch. I'm gonna call and see if I can bring him back in. I don't know if I can get through there. If he crosses, I'm gonna shoot again.
Give me a second. Thank you, Lord.
This segment is brought to you by Hunter's Safety System.
How high in the tree do you hang your stand?
Terry, great question I get all the time when I travel around and give seminars. How high do I like to put my tree stand? It's more important to me when I'm scouting for a tree stand location to pick the right tree in the right spot to get the big buck killed. If the right tree in the right spot will allow me to get 20 feet or so, that's the perfect height for me. But it's more important the right tree in the right location, even if I'm 14 or 15 feet high or whatever. That's what I'm looking for. Hopefully that answers your question. Right tree, right place, not how high.
Mer. 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 Oh man, what a deer! Oh, oh my God! You know, we came in here to hunt this deer, and I can't believe that worked out. We just shot him. We were in this stand for 30 minutes, and this deer comes in, and this is the biggest deer I've ever seen on a hoof. And now he's just laying right in front of me here. I mean, I'm looking down there. I see nothing but tines, and I just can't wait to get down there and put my hands on him. What a deer! What a deer! He's actually was getting propped up by this drop tine on this side. He's got two more on this side. Points coming off the front. Huge brow tines. A couple more points coming off the back. He's got a big point he broke off back here. He's got a drop tine he broke off. Another tine broke off here. But still, an unbelievable deer. This deer has stuff broke off every year. I've been hunting for 3 years. He scored over 200 inches last year. I'm sure he's going to score over 200 inches this year. Biggest deer I've ever shot. Biggest deer I've ever seen from the stand. How just rewarding. I mean, we've been hunting so hard this past week. This morning we actually got rained out, got in this stand early, and sure enough, half after we get in, he comes walking up the draw. 30-yard shot. He goes right down. I wouldn't have been hunting this stand if it wasn't for Steve Snow. We were supposed to hunt a different stand. He talked me into hunting this stand. Wouldn't be behind this deer without him. Just a unbelievable hunt. Hunt of a lifetime. I know I'm stuttering and babbling a little bit, but I just, you would too if you're standing behind this deer. It's just, what an experience. Something I'll never forget. Wow.
Welcome to Property Gold with Mark Baggy. This segment is brought to you by Illinois Land Sales and Auction.
Hey, welcome back to Property Goals on Whitetail Explorer. This week I want to talk about native browse, native species of plants that the whitetail eat. You know, in the Midwest here, I'm standing specifically by something that's easy to identify. It's the blackberry bush. Blackberries and raspberries, they bloom, you know, are usually in June or middle of May. So they're very easy to identify. You know, you need to recognize all those native plants. It's important. Besides just what we plant out there in food plots, there's a lot of other food that Mother Nature provides. And you know, they're here in the Midwest. There's ragweed, wild grape, wild rose, you know, a variety of plants. They love that honey locust pod at the end of the year. So what I would suggest is contact your local wildlife biologist. Your Soil and Water Conservation District can give you that person's name, and find out what your native deer like in your native area there. the species, be able to identify those, recognize those. So when you're hunting, you can recognize, hey, here's a whole bunch of this particular plant. I know the deer love it. You know, I'm going to set up a stand here. So keep that in mind. It's not always about what we plant. There's a lot of natural foods out there. So keep that in mind next time you're looking for a tree stand spot. You know, be aware of those native species. Join us next week for more Property Goals on Whitetail Explorer.
Folks, what did I tell you? Don Barry Jr., Iowa. Absolute world-class deer, world-class footage. Don Barry, congratulations. Now, let's head back to Iowa with Steve Snow. He's chasing a big old giant.
Well, it's the morning of November 5th. It's been light for probably an hour and a half, but I think it finally broke loose. We just had a doe come running in here with her tongue hanging out. A couple small bucks. Got a small buck running in here right now, so hopefully it'll be good. That's what you like to see. Just need a big one to come in here. I don't know, he's a good deer, but I think he's young. I don't know what to do here. That's a really, really cool deer, but I know he's young. He'll be the next 200 incher on my farm if he makes it. Well, it's a couple days before Thanksgiving. The big bucks are kind of breaking from the does. We just got in the stand. We had a couple really good bucks up here on the hill. Then we had some does that got downwind of us and got a little nervous. They ran back. So we're kind of splitting hairs on the wind, but we're in a great spot. So hopefully one of them good bucks will come by.
Whitetail Explorer is brought to you by Millennium Tree Stands, Hornady, Hunter Safety System, Third Arm Camera Tree Support, IQ Bow Sights, Illinois Land Sales and Auction, Springfield Archery. and books by Potts.com. Welcome to Capture the Hunt with Barry Greenhall. This segment is brought to you by the Third Arm Camera Tree Support.
Hey guys, Barry Greenhall with Capture the Hunt, and on this week's segment we're going to talk about if you're filming a buddy and how to set up. This is how I set up every time, starting with the tree stands. Okay, you got your buddy down here in this tree stand. My tree stand, I always try to set it on a 5 o'clock from whoever I'm filming. That way I can get the ultimate over the shoulder. I can always see everything that's going on. I can communicate with him. I've seen lots of videos where the hunter is way down here and you're way up above him and you can't even communicate to get it down. Plus, if you're down here on the right angle, whatever he's seeing, more than likely you're going to be seeing it too, so you guys can just add up everything together. Now the cameras, I try to put my base about waist level again, almost like if I was solo filming. That's just my standard height for when I'm standing up. It's comfortable for me. This camera is the main camera. It's going to be picking up everything that's going on. I use a second camera, and what I do with it is try to put it right above their head, pointing straight out. That way, if I miss anything here, or if I'm having to go around the tree or whatever I'm doing, this camera hopefully will catch something that maybe I'm missing. This one, you will have to adjust it as far as the height compared to however tall the subject is that's in the stand. So that's how I set up when I'm filming a buddy. Hopefully these tips will help you capture the hunt.
The
I think he's a dead deer. I got a bad shoulder, so I had to let my poundage way up on my bow, but I think I got it in there. That was awesome. Thanks, Jimmer.
Well, I'm back at the spot here. We actually got down last night and went and looked. We didn't find much blood, so I had I'd cranked my poundage down. I'm getting old. I got a bad shoulder, but so I didn't get a pass through. So we didn't find much blood, and we knew he came into this point, and we came in here maybe 15-20 yards, and we just backed out. We found a few specks of blood. So we're back here this morning, and to be totally honest, we went in there and we found him another 40-50 yards in there. He was dead last night, so we're gonna go in and get him. So he's a good deer. He's an old deer. What an old tank. Man, is he a cool deer. I've got years of pictures to him. I know he's at least 8.5 years old, maybe older. And he's starting to go downhill a little bit, but he is just a moose. That was a fun hunt. Jim Kostrowski behind the camera, he was passing through last night and said, I'll film you. So we jumped in the tree. We got in late, so we already had deer coming out. We're trying to set the camera up, and this is one of the deer I want to kill this year. And he popped out and he was bumping does, and he came right down in our lap. So I wasn't sure about the shot because we didn't have much blood, but we went home and looked at it, and it looked like it was better than I thought. So he was dead last night. We just didn't come in, we didn't have much blood. So, but just a awesome deer, and he was one on my list I wanted to kill this year because he's ancient. So it all worked out.
Folks, we're glad you tuned in this week, but please come right back next week. We got a great show lined up for you. So from all of us, Don Barry Jr., Mark Beck, myself, and all the team members, see you right back here next week, Whitetail Explorer.